tonight's final edition of the Big Nues is being brought to you by Orvax. Watch it!
Morning, Donald. Hello, Perry.
That's the final edition.
The news starts out this morning with Bill to introduction news sources. Washington, Center out of Compton, California. Friday introduced a bill that gave newsmen the right to refuse and disclose confidential sources of information from Congress and federal courts and agencies. The bill was prompted by Supreme Court decision Thursday that the Constitution's First Amendment free press graduation does not protect newsmen from being compelled to give grand jury's information and use confidence to identify the source. That's it. Over to you, Donald.
3 more motorists died today in Colorado roads. The traffic fatalities this year are up to 321 for people under 21.
Oh, the cigarette. Pilot's fate unknown in their crash. A $16.8 million Navy F-14 jet flight crash.
Back with more Big News in a moment. First, this word from Orvax.
Why don't you tell them about Orvax now, John?
All right, Perry. Orvax is having a sale this week in all fine fashions, men and women's. This tie came from Orvax, as you can see. Parallel stripe, maroon, and pink colors. Let me also tell you about the fine wardrobe of pants they have here. They have the finest selection in Denver, and you can believe me when I tell you that Orvax is the place to buy for men's clothing.
Thank you very much, Donald. That was well said.
You bet, Perry.
Back to the Big News, brought to you by Orvax.
Go ahead, George.
Today, an Adams lawyer from Adams County told Democratic seat in the House that he was going to quit his position on the grounds of his validity in the state representatives. His voting in their state representatives has occurred more than 14 times in the past 21st century. Several items have been occurring today on the national scene. In Washington, we had several different riots breaking out all over the country with communist groups of yippies, hippies, and dippies all over the streets. Marching, protesting, signs were carried. We have a film from that now, but I don't believe it's quite in yet. Perhaps if we can get that on later.
I don't think it is, Donald. We'll get to it as soon as possible.
Thank you, Perry. Do you have any other items of national
I certainly
importance?
do. The Game, Fish, and Parks Agency to be split. This means that the Game and Fish Parks, game and the fish, will be split. That means that the fish will be in one department and the game in the other. Effective Saturday. This goes into effect Saturday. Colorado's Game, Fish, and Parks Division will again become 2 separate agencies, ending an unhappy marriage of 9 years, plagued by financial conflict. The Game and Fish sections of the division will become Division Wildlife. The Recreation Unit will become Division of Parks. Both will remain sub-agencies. All the natural resources come foundation of Tucker. Harry R. Woodward, who has the chief combination agency, will head up the Game Fish Unit. George T. O'Malley, Jr., who is assistant director, will become the Parks
Oh, that's not
Division.
fair. That's not. Excuse me. And now we come to the favorite part of your program, Today in History. Today is Saturday, July 1st, the 183rd day of the 1972 year. There are 183 days left. On this date in 1862, the U.S. Congress established the Bureau of International Revenue. Don't we wish they never did that, huh, Donald? Perry?
You sure do, Perry.
Pardon me. In 1863, the Civil War battle in Gettysburg began. That's 1863, and on this date, 2,000 years ago. Would you mind moving your elbow? Thank you. In 1881, the American Red Cross was incorporated, with Clara Barton as its president. In 1898, Theodore Roosevelt and his Rough Riders carried a victorious assault on the famous now infamous San Juan Hill in Spanish-American Cuba.
More big news in a moment.
Now for the sports, we have the sports. Cut. Cut. Yeah, it's filming it. Oh. Today we have fencing instructors. We see a young girl got into the picture. She's doing a little what there. Our cameraman was a little bit tipsy then. I understand. Levi's was the commercial for this thing. Here we have Zorro, and I see he has conquered his victim, but not so bright white knight.
Oh, he's still alive, though, isn't he?
It certainly does look
This
so
is interesting today. You know, yesterday when we had that stupid washing machine float across the ocean contest.
That was
all hopped into a washing machine and float across the ocean in 23 minutes. That was amazing.
It was definitely too much. Too much.
Because of the durable redwood 3-piece barbecue set savings today, we had to talk about this. We called in to the Sears and Roebuck Company and asked them, how did you make such a bargain? And John was actually on the scene, and he has a report for you now.
We had a closeout here at Sears today on washing machines. Washing machines of all different sizes, colors, shapes, and all this. Is this the right advertisement?
Yes,
Washing machines.
correct, Donald.
They have the dual agitator bagitator, which washes your clothes inside out, outside in, and all through and all around. Even dirt, grease, grass, grimes, blood, germs, all this sort of stuff gets out. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's where I left my pipe, damn it.
Color TVs were also on sale with a 27-inch diagonal screen. The color TVs are by Zenith, and they have a portable works-in-the-drawer system of... yes.
And now we have a little bit more news. This is a story on the press for the chess. News on the title data. Denver area chess players and the chess fans launched an unusual petition drive. Recently, they were sure that they will be informed when Bobby Fischer, the U.S., and Boris Spassky of the Soviet Union beat the World Championship today on the Reykjavik, Iceland. Petitions bearing 327 signatures are submitted this week to the Rocky Mountain News. Respectfully requesting that the newspaper print of the games of the Chess World Match Championship. The petition city reasons for the request that the...
Yes, we have a special announcement of national importance from the White House in Washington, D.C.
National importance.
Very national importance. It says here, and on an AP by DY wire photo, that President Conley, now Vice President and the Secretary of State, has indeed been shot. I say he's been shot. The assassin has been identified as a Mr. Carl Cromwell from northeastern New Jersey. He's not a hippie type. He has short hair. I repeat, he was shot with a .38 revolver, and he has been assassinated today, here, and now. The report just came in. Back to you, Perry.
Yes. Now, once upon a time, I was in
We have a fire here on the studio. You get that. A relaxed Nixon. It's all right. A relaxed Nixon. A relaxed Nixon faces the press. Washington. President Nixon had come out in an ice cream suit, straw skimmer, and bamboo cane, and done a soft shoe. That's what it says here. The press corps could not have been more surprised. For 13 months, Nixon has ducked, set price, press conferences the way typhoid Mary avoided hypodermic needles. We can't believe it here at the news station.
Well, listen to this, ladies. White House featured needle kits, excuse me. American people of the White House said Julie Nixon Eisenhower, they're proud of what you want to be part of. And the White House is truly a people's house. The president's younger daughter formally opened her newest People's House project Friday when the display new 6 needlecraft kits. Hopes bring that 100,000 of the White House Historical Association. La Hay. La Hay is the name of the association, and we'll get back to that in a moment. Now, I have a big joke for you today. There's a man standing here selling hot dogs for 5 cents a piece, and he says, every man should have a dog. How about it, Buster?
That's a real good joke. Hysteria is breaking out all over the world on the eastern front. Hurricanes have ripped across the southeastern portion. Just a minute, we have our weather report right on the other map here. You've got plenty of coffee now. Okay, here we go. It's all right. Up here in the northeast corner,
It's
we have
snowing.
a different kind of state, and it is snowing heavily here. As we can see, we have a good 15 snowflakes there. Cutting across northeastern Atlantic, we have several stripped areas of agricultural farming where strip farming is being used. We can see the country is in turmoil.
No, Donald, I think you're incorrect here. These are parallel storm fronts.
Ah, yes, the Chaucelots coming across from northeastern Canada, down from Alaska, and going into Mexico. Up here we have the Virgin Islands with the Hawaii Islands put together for we don't know what reasons. Honolulu.
As we
Maybe.
said, the question is, WHY?
Why? How come?
I don't know. Because.
I'll tell you why, because our letters are WHY.
Because.
Not W2Y, but WHY.
Because.
Well, it's not, let me get this straight, it's not Y. Well, it spells Y, but it's not WHYY, it's WHY.
Why? Because.
There's a period.
What I said. Back to the news. Now, back to the news.
Barry's World. It's nothing, I just interdicted his railroad. There's a cartoon here, you gotta see it to get it. It's
Donald, I think the word is interdicted, not interdicted. Now, let's get back.
I could have sworn that's what I said. Old ideas are going to pot.
Here's the scoop on the bridge. Finance assurance contract. South dealer, both sides vulnerable. North, King 532. Heart, 76. Diamond, 852. Spade, 852. Again, also 5-2. Pretty colorful Colorado series is the library. Now,
Well,
the library is an important part of our lives. The library plays an important role of our children's literary knowledge before they go to school. Too bad they can't read.
Old ideas are going to pot, as well said by Virginia Payette. Well, the unthinkable has happened. They're serving up legal booze in the hometown of a Women's Christian Temperance Union. That's right. Chalk that up to things people in Evanston, Illinois used to say would never happen. No way. Memories of Carrie Nadians, busy acts are still too powerful. So get ready for the next one. Back to you, Dave.
Here's a story on a young Girl Scout from Puntuki, Iowa. The excitement was just too much for meeting Julie Nixon Eisenhower of West Point, Nebraska. J. Fink, 17, who broke into tears after meeting the East Garden of the White House, where Julie and 125 Girl Scout National Award winners at a reception. Back to you. Oh, we don't want to forget that tonight at 3:30, Wild Wild West, Run for Your Life and Fiction Theater are on. Also at 5 o'clock, Suspense Theater, The Deep End. Yes, sir. KWGM presents Count Your Blessings, 1, 2, 3, starring Dora Kerr, Roseanne Breezy, and Saturday Night News. Deborah Kerr, excuse me. At 6 o'clock, Let's Make a Deal, Theater 7 movie, continued, and Lawrence Welk, continued also. Andy Griffith in black and white, although it is a very good show, is about a trail run as the sheriff of Mayberry convinces that Barney, his deputy sheriff, that he is not quite ready to take over a similar job in a neighboring town. Repeat. Back to you, Donald. Back to you, Donald.
Oh, yes. Another hot summer day is going pretty. Quite wet. No one should ever suffer through another hot summer day. Now at a special low price, Fetter's 4,000 BTU 2-speed room air conditioner. Here he is now. Can we get a close up of this? That's actual size now, $79.95. That's Fetter's air conditioner. Better service.
The Women's Garden Club of Denver begs you to check your house plant pests. A number of them are root maggots. The root maggot, shown here, is in a curlicue position, ready to... Did you see that thing? Did you see that ugly bug? Oh, excuse me. The wireworm, shown here, and the aphid here, are also common pests. Excuse me. The mite, of which chigger larvae come from, named chiggers, bite your legs. You gotta keep away from them. The leafhopper and the cabbage worm. We would all like to thank the Denver Women's Garden Club for this information.
Speaking of the Denver World's Garden Club, they put this decoration out for us today, Mike, Perry. And,
Oh, isn't that pretty?
Now.
Okay.
It's a beautiful nasturtium brought over from Africa, I believe. The Playboy Club Church, Carly raises eyebrows. The unit of the New York City Council of Churches tentatively is scheduled a day-long meeting next fall at the Playboy Club in Midtown Manhattan, known for its bunny waitresses and wall pictures of, you heard it here first, nude girls.
All right, now then, we have our actual on the Denver weather.
Quite so.
Excuse me.
Let's move this garden plot.
Here.
Over Jersey Street today, we have a wind sweeping across.
It's not upside down from the back.
I dare say you're quite right. How else we would? Sweeping across the Circular Drive of northern Denver is a hurricane of outrageous proportions. Let me help you here. Directly over the house of Bill C. Thank you. Very. Excuse me. Can't see without my glasses.
Let me do it for you there. Well then, over Jersey Street we had a 90-degree temperature, and over Jasmine Street, a block away, we had 98. Fresh little bastard, you. Now, as you can see, in the Fraser Street district, we had a 31 degrees count, and in the Glendale district, we didn't have a count. They did not report.
We've had the cue, I hear the music, to wrap up the Big Nues. The Big Nues.
On YTV.
Perry Marshall is glad, is happy,
And it's sad. Yes, sir. Well, I thank you very much.
nice to be with you here again. Perry, again. You get this? That's good. Goodbye. Oh, that's okay. Jeff Norman, the dry look. Jeff Norman, the wet look. Rob Norman, the wet look. Would you mind taking your glasses off, Rob? What more? The dry look.